James was born in a crumbling neighborhood in Detroit, where opportunity was a myth and hope was a rare visitor. Raised by a single mother who juggled 3 jobs just to keep the lights on, he grew up knowing the harsh sound of an empty stomach and the constant pressure of survival. His clothes were often second-hand, his shoes worn down to the sole, and birthdays came and went without cakes or candles. Despite his surroundings, James had something that no one could take away: his dreams. Every evening, he'd sit by the small window in their apartment and draw designs of things he'd invent one day: sneakers, jackets, gadgets, things he hoped would one day change his family's life. While most kids his age ran the streets or gave into despair, James believed stubbornly that his situation didn't have to be his destiny. At school, James was often mocked for his appearance. His classmates laughed at his torn uniform and old backpack. He was called poor boy, ragman, and other cruel names that cut deeper than anyone knew. But James kept his head down and poured himself into his studies and his sketchbook. He didn't have internet at home, but he would stay late at the public library, reading about successful entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs and Damon John, hoping to find a path out. His teachers noticed his brilliance and determination, and one of them, Mrs. Allen, took a special interest in helping him apply for a scholarship to a local community college. When he got accepted, James cried. It was his first major victory, a sign that his belief in something better wasn't foolish after all. College wasn't easy. James had to work nights cleaning offices to afford food and basic supplies. While his classmates attended parties or went home for the weekend, James was designing sneakers in a notebook between mop shifts. He started posting his sketches online, and slowly people began to notice. One day, an anonymous user messaged him, offering to turn one of his designs into a prototype. That person turned out to be a small investor from New York. The investor loved James's grit and offered him a microloan to start a small sneaker line. James called it From the Ground Up, a name inspired by his journey. He sold sneakers from the trunk of his old car, using social media and word of mouth to spread the word. It wasn't glamorous, but it was his dream, finally coming to life. Years of hustle began to pay off. Celebrities began wearing his designs. Major stores took notice. James reinvested every dollar he earned back into the business, expanding the line, improving materials, and hiring others from disadvantaged backgrounds. He never forgot where he came from and made it his mission to give back. He created a mentorship program for young designers from inner cities, just like he once was. His company grew from a one-man dream to a brand valued in the millions. Media outlets began calling him the sneaker king from the slums. James remained humble, often visiting his old neighborhood, donating supplies to kids, and giving motivational talks. His story became a symbol of what's possible when belief, work ethic, and kindness come together. Today, James is not just a successful entrepreneur, he's a movement. His story has inspired thousands to believe in their own dreams, no matter how distant they may seem. He often says, "My biggest investment wasn't money, it was hope. I believed when no one else did." His journey from mock teenager to business icon is a powerful reminder that circumstances do not define potential. James's story teaches us that no matter where you start, it's where you decide to go and how fiercely you work to get there. That shapes your future. And as James stands on stages around the world telling his truth, one thing is clear: the boy who once drew sneakers in the dark became the man who lights the way for others.